Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Inês, I'm an artist and illustrator, and in today's video I thought I would talk about imposter syndrome. It's something that I struggle with a lot these days, and I have struggled with it I think all my life. And I thought I would share with you my thoughts on it, and I've done research on it obviously, and I thought it would be useful for fellow artists, and I will talk about some ways that it can be tackled. I'm in no way an expert, but at the same time I thought it's always interesting to talk about these things and important. And I thought I would do that with this video. So while I'm doing that, while I'm talking about it, I will be doing a speed paint. So I still don't know quite what I'm going to do. I think it's something related with the theme. So with the imposter syndrome, I have a few ideas, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to start by sketching it in watercolor paper. I'm using the Langton watercolor paper, I think that's it. In hot press smooth grain satine. I don't know how you say it. I think that's it. I think afterwards I will probably finish the painting in Procreate. So if you are interested to see the process at the same time listening to me talking about imposter syndrome, please keep watching the video. Creative imposter syndrome is when artists worry that they don't have real talent or feel that they don't belong in the creative community. If you doubt yourself regularly or feel you don't belong in certain communities, please know you're not alone. I have those feelings all the time, and it is something that I'm constantly working on, and these feelings are completely normal and can be worked through over time. In the literal sense, imposter syndrome translates to feeling like an imposter, a fraud. And you may ask why you're invited to an art event or included in the community. You might feel that you don't deserve to be there. When I was researching about imposter syndrome, I found out that it tends to affect the high achievers, which is honestly ironic, since they are the people that in others' eyes are doing the good job. People suffering from this tend to constantly move the goalpost of when they truly will make it. I can totally relate to this. When I look at my life and think a little bit about it, I find that by my own standards, just a few years ago, I'm probably where I wanted to be. The problem is my expectations and goals have changed, and I can no longer recognize that I'm in a good place. Nothing will ever make you feel like you belong when you're always raising the bar for yourself. And you'll never feel good enough. The creative imposter syndrome, though, it's particularly complex, since there's no quantitative measure to what a good job in artistic areas actually is. It's also more complex since the work you're producing as a creative person generally comes from a vulnerable part of yourself, which can make it more difficult to detach yourself from your art and not to take it personally. As a creative, you may constantly live in fear that people are going to find out that you're nothing special, that you're not talented, and you may feel you haven't worked hard enough to receive recognition. Maybe you didn't go to the school for what you're doing or to the right school. This hits particularly hard and affects me because it can make us feel that that is the reason we will never succeed. And that is something that our minds can use to convince us we didn't earn our accomplishments. There's no cure or fix to artistic imposter syndrome, but there's ways to tackle it. One of them is to remind yourself of your accomplishments. It can be a good way to counteract your insecurity. Making a list can really help you to have a physical proof of your achievements, and it can be surprising to see what you have achieved so far. It's important to not dismiss your thoughts and to acknowledge them. Try not to judge yourself for what you're thinking, but try to practice new thought patterns. Try to say to yourself what you would say to a friend that was struggling with self-doubt. We generally are the best at giving advice, but the worst to follow it. It's time to try to follow our own advices. Join communities with like-minded people. They certainly have been where you are, and it can make you feel less alone and help you feel more supported. For me, going to art events like THU and meeting people just like me was life-changing in this regard. We also have to recognize that this is a lifelong journey, so we are a work in progress. I tend to forget this, but honestly, if we look at ourselves as a work of art, our life is the process. And that is what we have to enjoy, the process, not the final result. So don't feel discouraged. Your feelings of worthiness and confidence come in waves. The important thing is to not give up and to take care of yourself. Continue to invest in your learning and invest in refreshing your knowledge. We're here to learn and grow. Be vulnerable and share your imposter syndrome with people you trust. It can help you to connect with them and feel empowered as well. Face your fears. In order to grow, you must do things that intimidate you. It's not easy, but throwing yourself into situations and refusing to give up will lessen your fears. You may always have that small voice in your mind saying, "You're not good enough," and wondering if you truly belong, but at least you know that you're not alone. Even great artists have imposter syndrome, at least from time to time, and trying to tackle it and not let it defeat you is the way to go. So I hope you liked the speed painting and me talking about the imposter syndrome. If you felt like you have it and you felt like it's something that you've been experiencing, please do know that you're not alone. I am here as well, I have it, and it's something that I struggle every day. But there are ways to tackle it, as I said, and I try to do them, and I think it helps. Acknowledging that we had successes already, as small as we can find them. Sometimes we find that, oh, it's not really an accomplishment because it's so small. Still, it's a success. Still, you have grown from it. And it's part of your journey. It's important to keep in your mind that life is a journey. It's something that we are still working on, and probably we'll always have these thoughts in our minds. The important thing is to share them with people that you trust, people that have your best interests at heart, and that can help you surpass them. Because sometimes you just need a bit of reassurance as well, and you can do the same for them as well. And this is the final result of my painting. I forgot to talk about this. I thought it was kind of a metaphor for the imposter syndrome. I think the imposter syndrome is the fear of being discovered that we are actually a fraud and we are not good enough. So we are in a fragile situation where we all are inside of a bubble with our own thoughts, but they can be burst at any time, so it's like quite a vulnerable place to be. So I thought it would be a good metaphor to be in, since frailty and insecurity can be also related. So I did that using my watercolor paper, then I did it, passed it to the Procreate, where I finished my process as the other paintings that I've done. It's basically just block out colors, decide type of color palette that I want to work with, and in the end I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. I think it's just a conversation starter as well, and I hope you enjoyed the video. It was very interesting for me. It was very important and interesting to do the research as well. I think it deepened my understanding of the actual imposter syndrome, what it is. I had an idea and I felt that I had it, but like after doing proper research I understood that, yeah, definitely it's something that I experienced, and that I was already doing some things to trying to tackle it. And we are all here feeling the same things, and we are all experiencing these tough times as well. Just know that you are not alone. We are all in this together, and everything will be better as long as you understand that you are worthy and that you deserve to feel like you have successes in your life, because you do. We all do. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to give it a like if you like this type of videos, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next week with another video. Bye!